Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So you guys might remember back in May, we had a tornado pass through the property and it caused all kinds of damage around here. On the house, it ripped off a bunch of storm guard that we had to replace. Since then, we've put on the new roof, so we're good there. But it also did rip off some of our Rockwool comfort board insulation. You can see this piece right here, that's one example of it. Just in various places around the shed, it got ripped off. Now, surprisingly, even in the 100-mile-an-hour winds, it only ripped off a couple pieces. But Rockwool actually sent us out an entire pallet of Rockwool comfort board so that we can patch some of those places that got messed up. And so today we wanted to go ahead and do that, and then we'll have some left over for some other projects too. And while we're doing some Rockwool, we're gonna go ahead and head inside, patch up a couple of the places that we left open for doing electrical and the mini split. And finally, we just have our remaining Rockwool in a pile that has just kind of been in a mess since the tornado threw everything around. So we want to take some time today and just clean it up a little bit and get it all out of the dirt so that we can preserve it for some future projects. So let's go check out our new comfort board and get installing it. All right, so here it is, an entire pallet of Rockwool comfort board. This is R5 and they're 4x8 sheets. This is the amount that we used to do the shed the first time. We basically used all of it, and we really only need like 2 or 3 sheets to repair the damage that's on the shed now. The rest of it we're gonna be using for our solar kiln. So you guys can be expecting a video of that pretty soon. When this was being loaded with the forklift, there were a couple pieces on the bottom that got damaged. And so we want to go ahead and unwrap the whole thing, unstack it all, and get to those damaged pieces first so that we can try to use the ones that are damaged to do the repairs. Just cut off the bad parts. Then we'll have a bunch of fresh sheets for when we do our solar kiln. So we don't really want to have to take off this plastic, but last time we took it off, it didn't really have anything on it. It was outside for over a year, and it was completely fine when we got to it. So we aren't really worried about leaving it outside for too long. So let's get this unboxed. All right guys, well while we're doing this, I think now is a good time to tell you about the unfortunate thing that happened to us this week, and that is that our F-150 is totaled. Dad was in an accident.
It was 4 cars, 1 car stopped, 1 car was stopped fast to turn. They get rear-ended by a car behind them. And the car in front of me slammed on their brakes, I slammed on my brakes. And F-150s don't stop as fast as Subaru Outbacks. That's the short story.
So yeah, we are out of a truck now, and we don't really know exactly what we're gonna do yet. Rockwool for now. We've got some big stuff that we need to move, but we don't have a great way to move it because the rental we're using, we're not allowed to pull a trailer. Oh, and by the way, Dad was okay. He just had a rash on his arm from when the airbag came out. Everyone else in the accident was also okay. Just our truck was not. If you guys watched the episode where we repaired it the first time from hitting the deer, basically everything that we did and more was undone. So it kind of sucks.
I thought there was going to be like 3 or 4.
I love when we get pallets with things. I love when we get pallets with things. You never go wrong with a free pallet. I guess usually you gotta buy something really expensive to get the free pallet. So this is one of the pieces that had some damage in shipping. There's a usable part right here that we can use to fill in that spot over there. Rockwool glove, Rockwool knife. Spoiled with the Rockwool stuff. It's literally a bread knife. Michael gave us a bunch of extra Rockwool knives, and now I use one for a bread knife because I didn't have a bread knife.
Save the livers.
All right, so we are upstairs now. We want to go ahead and use this in some various places around the shed and just fill out some of the places that we didn't do the first time or we just left open because of wiring stuff. Hopefully get this pile out of the way and get our shed a little more insulated. Oh yeah, one thing about upstairs, we put in our EG4 mini split in the last episode, and we've been running it for a couple weeks now. Downstairs, we've been keeping it at 73, and we just put up some temperature sensors in various places. And what we know right now is upstairs versus downstairs, it's 10 degrees hotter up here. So we have a couple different approaches we can take moving forward with that. We couldn't just get enough air moving between upstairs and downstairs to kind of balance out the air. Or we can just put another mini split up here altogether. But our mini split that we have is actually enough to do the entire shed. So it can definitely output enough. It's just, will we be able to move enough air up here? A little close-up of what I was just doing. Just shoving all the little pieces in there to make it work. Every little bit counts. All right, and we got some more filled in on this back wall too. Now you guys might remember this right here is gonna be our back door to our porch. So everything in there is just temporary, but we figured why not just put it there for now because it'll probably be a bit before we get to that anyway. We're done with upstairs now and just a little bit more left to go. All right, well, me and Dad started moving a couple sheets of comfort board over here and we got carried away and ended up moving the whole thing. So this is where this is gonna live for a while, next to all of our other Rockwool. And you can see that this stuff has definitely seen some better days. It all got blown over in the tornado and we just haven't touched it since. We just said it was a project for another day. I know it looks really bad because this is just covered in this nasty stuff from the trees, but what we found out last time is that this plastic actually protects it really well. And lucky for us, mice don't like to get in it, otherwise it would be completely ruined by now. So we do want to spend some time later and get some of this stuff cleaned up. And we also have some storms rolling in later this week, so we want to put a tarp over all this comfort board since we had to take off the plastic. It's just been so dry out here these past few weeks, and really this whole summer. It's kind of crazy because usually the summer here, everything is just vibrant green all summer long, but this is the first time in a while that it just kind of, it crunches when you walk around. Everything's kind of dull, so it'll be good that we get some rain too. We're gonna move a couple sheets of comfort board over for now and finish up some of the pieces outside, and then we'll come over here and keep reorganizing this stuff. All right, so we just have one last bit that we want to insulate with some comfort board, and that's right here up under the eaves. It'll give us a little bit of extra insulation, and the added bonus is that insects don't really like nesting or animals. You can see right here we have a bird's nest that was up there for a while, so it'll also help keep things out, just have that little bit of extra insulation. So let's go ahead and get started in installing that. Screw wasn't doing much anyway. What that was, the carpenter V8'd it out or something. All right, so we got a wasp nest. It's gone now. And it's just slightly under 6 inches, so 6 inches might work. Yeah, 6 inches by 13 and 3/4. I think this is the first day I can get away with not wearing my sun hat. We're not dying out here today. It's looks like about the same. It's like a 16th under 6 and 14.5. I'm guessing those two end ones, we just snug the difference on the rafters. Snug foot there.
Full glasses.
Oh, yeah. It's got the quick release. Ow, I do need the gloves. Just realized that you guys probably can't see much of what's going on right now. There's some really harsh sunlight right now, and this is really dark. So I don't know how well it's doing capturing it. Oh, by the way, I'm starting to re-upload some of my TikToks to YouTube Shorts. So you guys might see some random shorts popping up. Some of them are kind of some fun throwbacks to look back on, see where the project started and see how far we've come. So I have those scheduled to upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you see one, give it a watch, give it a like, and subscribe.
Great pleasure. I'm trying to recycle it.
Trying to recycle it? Yeah, guys, Dad's off camera, cutting up all of our little offcuts, trying to find just the right piece to put in here so we're not wasting any full sheets. I also found out a lot of people use Rockwool for gardening. You can use it to start seeds. Some of these other offcuts I'm gonna bring over to my Mimi and challenge her to start some plants with Rockwool. Yeah, start some pawpaws in. Well, maybe this will help us out in the winter. Hot air rises. Keep it in a little longer. I don't think we're gonna have any problems keeping it warm though. We did all that insulation after it was already starting to warm up again, right? Like we haven't really experienced it with all the insulation.
When cooling isn't if you don't have drafts. So one of the best things this does is keeps us from having drafts.
Oh yeah, look at you. Is my camera still recording? Probably can't even see me anymore. Really?
No, it's
It says the only option is to format the card. I still have not done the accidental card format. The other day I came close to it though. Stuck an SD card in my Insta360, forgetting that I'd never imported any footage.
What was that next one?
Whew, Rockwool dust.
The next one's 14 3/4, 1, 2, and 8.
By 2. Oh, that one went in there beautiful. Just slid on in there. These birds used some mud in their nest and glued it on. I don't know yet. I'm trying to remove this nest. It's really caked in there. It's a little shy of 6 though. See? It's 14 1/4. I'm gonna shove some Rockwool up in those bee holes. Next one's 14 1/2. Remember when we were drilling our laths on and they didn't quite hit? There's a little change from top to bottom. It's that 14 1/4 versus 14 1/2. It's talking about that time when you pulled off the wasp nest and you threw it at me. 14 1/2.
A little bit of rip off, so you're gonna have to maybe put something on one side.
Even smaller than this.
They're carrying
All right, come steal the tiny house. Oh, where are they spraying? They're spraying chemicals.
They sure as hell are, aren't they? Yeah, I get a video of that.
No, you took it. Where'd you put it?
Oh, it's down there. See where it's spraying. They're spraying.
What was that? Yeah, so this was a military helicopter spraying something. I didn't really get a great video of it, but I did do a little bit of research and found this post over on the Huntsville, Alabama Reddit. Yo, I just had a Chinook fly over my house spraying stuff. What's up with that? And so I guess enough people ask questions where Redstone Arsenal came out and made this post. They're the Army base in Huntsville. And turns out they were just flying this Chinook, spraying water for some icing qualification missions. Or at least that's what they tell us. All right, well, it's time to do some Rockwool organization. We went by a local business, some friends of ours, and they gave us a bunch of free pallets. So it's always good having pallets when you're doing stuff like this. We have some that are already on the Rockwool, but some of them kind of got destroyed in the storm. So yeah, we want to just put them all in a few piles so that we can stretch a tarp and some plastic over and keep it out of the weather. And we're taking advantage of the rental truck as much as we can while we have it, because we are going to have to give it back in a few days too. It's got some other pieces too that were sitting over by the shed. Our 4 packages of leftover comfort board fit perfectly on our pile of new comfort board.
Even with this, but with the space. Let's get this out. That's pretty level, actually.
It's gonna go falling.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Are we putting this entire pile on these 2 pallets?
Well, as much as we can, yeah. Let's see how it spaces out on this first one, and then we'll know. That's what I thought 2 would fit.
You want to just finish out this whole thing, or?
We'll go that way. I just want to try.
Okay. Those ones didn't feel super heavy, so they probably didn't have. Those ones didn't feel super heavy, so they probably don't have much water.
By completely lazy, dumb luck, this was the best time to do this.
Okay, so if we do 2 more on this stack, it'll be about the height of that.
Yeah. Roll it.
Man, it's still cold under there from the winter storm of 24. Held it in. This pile of R23 is going to be used for our solar kiln.
Widowmaker.
That's a Widowmaker. Look up for a second, make sure. Man, I wish my camera was pointed a little wider. I don't think it got that. We just had this big old Widowmaker fall out 20 feet from where we were standing. I wonder if that was caused by us, or if it was just chance. Already?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think this one's torn somewhere.
Well, we'll use it for something. If we can't, then we'll start some seeds in it.
No, we'll do solar kiln.
I mean, solar kiln, it doesn't matter if it's a little dirty or anything, really. All right, Dad's gonna get this bush hog moved with the forks. Got to give a shout out to our neighbor, Dawn. She is letting us borrow her tractor. Guys, having neighbors in really rural places like this is the best. Like, everyone's got tractors and backhoes and all kinds of stuff. If we were trying to use something like this, well, first of all, no one in like Huntsville, for example, really has tractors like this. And if you wanted to use someone's tractor, it'd be like, yeah, you can use it for $200 an hour. So it's just the best having neighbors that are so nice and just willing to let you borrow stuff like this. You're really close to that post. Okay. Blow this thing up. Dad was tweaking around with this one day and set it a little too high powered, so this thing runs way too fast. It's probably gonna explode. Like that. One of those days when you mow and your mouth just tastes like dirt. All right, take your guess. Is it gonna knock over the wood pile when I cut this?
What?
I said, is it gonna knock over the wood pile when I cut this?
Yeah. I'm just making it up as I go along now.
If you guys can't tell by now, we absolutely love Rockwool. And we are so thankful for them supporting the project and sending this out to us. It's just been great. We love it. And obviously it took us a little longer to get to this than we expected, and some of these packages are kind of covered in debris from the trees. But what we saw last time we were installing it in the house, even if it had gotten water inside or had stuff on the outside, it was still perfectly fine. Because this stuff is literally made out of rock, so it's not really gonna go bad. Rodents and insects, they don't like getting inside of it, so we haven't had that problem.
Which is still crazy to me.
Yeah. And this pile right here that we're doing right now, I'm really excited about this. This is the safe and sound that's gonna go from room to room in between the walls. I'd say most houses probably don't have insulations within the walls inside the house. So that's gonna help with the sound deadening from room to room, which is gonna be awesome because,
Floor to floor.
yeah, and floor to floor. So it'll minimize how much footsteps you hear walking around, or if we're having a conversation in one room, you might not hear it in the other.
The bathroom in the middle of the living room, that sort of debacle. Nobody likes being in the bathroom when you're like right in the middle of the living room.
It's kind of funny though, because we were just thinking about how great it was that we couldn't hear anything going on outside, but then we realized that that's also kind of a bad thing, because like can't really hear stuff going on. If like something's like, if there's some crazy storms going on, you barely hear it. Might just sleep through it, who knows? But we love this stuff. No, there will be safe and sound. Look at that expansion.
I know. You even see us
It's
anymore?
got the little baby on there sleeping safe and sound.
Can you think you need to move your camera to somewhere? So it's kind of behind the...
Yeah, I do. Are you kidding me?
Huh? Oh, it has this stuff?
It overheated.
It did?
A little payback, you know.
So much better than
Yeah, this is, I feel so good. It's not like doing something epic with the house this week, but doing things like this, cleaning up around the land, it's just as much of an achievement to us as doing something on the house.
It takes so much time. It's
yeah.
so hard to believe from the stuff that's on camera versus all the stuff that gets done. It's like, why did it take you so long to do this? And it's like, I don't think you have any idea all the stuff that had to be done. Because all this, unfortunately, everybody here is hating it because of the water. It's killing the crops, but it actually has been great for us. Let's go the other direction.
Oh, cicada. Let's do.
Blast from the past.
That's so satisfying when you peel back the plastic and it's just clean underneath.
And dry. We should take some in, definitely.
I mean, I think we could go ahead and do the bathroom and up under the ceiling in the living room.
Sage is gonna love this place. Try to believe how it fit on that one.
Yeah, someone was saying on Reddit that they thought tornadoes were coming on Thursday. How ironic would it be? Might fall on you. He was out alone cutting Rockwool one day and they just fell on top of him. Never recovered. Oh, check out these. Bonus blocks.
Bunch of them piled up there.
This is the R23 16-inch.
Lock that off. Man, that looks so good. Those bright colors.
Yeah.
Cut it inside and it expands.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be easier for the next one. What am I hearing? Another one of those military helicopters. I saw that bird up there. Did you see that? One of those helicopters spraying chemicals.
I meant to ask Steve about that.
Isn't ready for that. Pallet might have a snake under it.
I was just about to yell snake. No, it's just a piece of plastic.
It's coming for you. Worth it. And a bungee strap.
Two bungee straps. Did you just do it?
I meant to throw it on the pool, but it flew over. I overshot it.
Like this.
Oh, this feels so good. Go grab the Vevor tent to save the day again. This Rockwool is going to be so happy now. I said this Rockwool is going to be so happy now. I think this might have been the long side. All right, well, we got all of our Rockwool finally cleaned up and organized. It is such a relief to have this all finally out of the weather. And you might be able to hear right now, we got some wind storms picking up. We've got wind advisories all for the rest of the night. So I don't know if these tarps are gonna stay on. It's kind of reminding me of when we set up that brand new tent and then the next week later, it blew apart. So we'll see if it gets us through the night, but even if it does blow off, this stuff has obviously been outside for years without any kind of covering on it, and it's just fine. So we'd just be out a tarp and maybe, yeah, I don't know, hopefully it won't blow over again. And in addition to having all this piled up, it feels really good to finally have our Rockwool repaired again and just completely done. We're insulated now and we'll have some more safe and sound later, but it's just a good feeling to finally have it done. But this windstorm is starting to pick up, so we want to go around and secure some stuff down, make sure we're good for the storm. So we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. I want to give a big thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed, and thank you so much to everyone that backs us over on Patreon, and we'll see you guys next time.